Hi, my name's Tom and welcome along to Barbecue Life UK, where good food doesn't have to cost a fortune. Today we are making smoked chicken enchiladas. So for this cook, we're going to be cooking a whole chicken, which we're going to smoke in some applewood smoke. We're going to get a nice rub on that beforehand. We're going to take that right up to 74 degrees. When we're going to take it off, we're going to let it rest. At that point, we're going to get our cast iron on, and we're going to be making up our tomatoey, barbecuey, spicy enchilada sauce. Then we're going to chop the chicken, pull the chicken, however it goes, get that into that sauce, let that simmer away for a little while, really infusing flavours in there, and then we're going to make up our enchiladas, get them cooking in the barbecue as well, get some of this skin sprinkled on the top of there as well to give it an extra bit of crunch. Let's show you how to do it. So we've just got standard supermarket chicken. I've removed the string off the back legs just so that we can get a bit more heat into here, quicker even cooking, and it means we can get a bit of rub in there as well. So I'm just going on with a standard barbecue rub. Mine's from the Rusty Barbecue Company, but if you've got rub from somewhere else, you can use that. If you do want to get some rub from the Rusty Barbecue Company, if you join my Facebook community, there is a discount code on there. So just head over to the Barbecue Life UK group, a community group, and you can pick yourself up a discount code for that. Flip her over, a little bit on the bottom. And we're not going to be using all of this skin on here today, but any skin that we do use, this is going to make sure that it's going to taste absolutely epic. So we want to let that sit for about an hour. In that time, in a little while, we're going to get the Kamado lit up. We want sort of a low roasting temperature, nothing too hot, because we want that smoke to be able to get in there nicely. But we don't want it taking forever either, and we want to get that skin nice and tight. So we're going to let that sit. When you come back, we'll have the Kamado lit. So Kamado's lit. We're going in with a nice chunk of applewood, nestled in, and then we want to get our deflectors in. So get them in next. So they're sitting in the middle. Then we're going to get our grill grate on. And let it come up to temperature. So we're sitting about 170 degrees C. I'm going to get that chicken in the middle, right over the top of that deflection plate. I'm going to get this lid shut so we don't get the temperature up too high. We're just going to let this rock. Let it rock until we get up to the 74. I'm monitoring my temperatures with my Inkbird IBT 4XS. So it says we've hit 74, so we're just going to go in and give it a little poke. It's starting to lose light now, so I'm using the flash. 71, so we're just going to give that a couple more minutes. I probably haven't got that probe right in the dead centre. A couple more minutes and we're going to get it pulled. So while that's finishing off, we're going to get our mix in the cast iron pot ready to make up these enchiladas. So into my cast iron, I've put 250ml chicken stock. Probably should have put that in last, you'd have less steam then. Hopefully that'll cut the steam down and you'll be able to see a bit better. So we're going in 2 cans of chopped tomatoes. Both of them in. And then I'm using sweet soul from the Rusty Barbecue Company because to me this screams enchiladas. It's got heat, there's cumin, it's basically a barbecue rub, but there's so much more like Southern American flavours. So I'm going on about 1.5 tablespoons of that rub, and then we'll get some tomato puree on there as well. One bigger squeeze. Two nice big tablespoons of tomato puree. Start incorporating that in. Try not to scrape it too much because I know I've had complaints about metal on metal. Should be using my wooden spoon, which I will do when we stir it in a little while. So get that nice and incorporated, and then we're going to get that on the grill, still indirect, exactly where the chicken was, and let that start to come up to temperature while the chicken's resting. See that I've already got the chicken off here. Give it a little twist. So that's got a nice colour on it. And then once that's rested, the juices have redistributed through the meat. We're going to get that chopped and pulled and into this mixture. Let that sit in there, infuse through all the flavours, and then we'll get our wraps made. So the chicken's been resting for a good 20 minutes while we've had that sauce in. So I'm just going to slice through, get this breast out. You don't need to be seeing me cut a chicken really. But what I am going to do is save some of this skin. I'm going to get that put over one side. I'm going to chop that and I'm going to top the enchiladas with the cheese and some of the skin. As you can see, it's all perfectly cooked. So pull that off, get that into a bowl along with everything else. The legs and thighs and things I'm just going to pull rather than chop, like the breast. They just pull straight out nicely. I'll show you it all in the bowl in a second. Then the chicken's all pulled, chopped, and I've mushed it as much as I can to give it sort of that sort of pulled effect on the breast, because breast doesn't pull so well. But the fattier bits like your thighs and legs, they've pulled lovely. So we're going to get this into our sauce mixture, so to incorporate a lot of that flavour. That sauce has been bubbling away all the while we've been picking this, and then it rests. We're just going to get that chicken in, and then incorporate it through this sauce. It's not going to take long in here before we get to make these wraps up. Get the lid back on, just let that sit in there, stew for a little while, and then we'll get the wraps made. Let's take this lid off and have a look. It's thickened up, it's bubbling away nicely. So we're going to get this off. And then our wraps. These are Old El Paso regular corn and wheat wraps. It's not easy to get just corn, so we're just going to put them on just for a minute or two just to warm up before we start building. Now these are warmed up. That's the one that was on the bottom of the grill, it's just got a bit of grease on there. So a nice splodge of the chicken through the middle. Give it a fold, and then just into the dish at the back. Lift you up, so I'll show you. So I've just got a dish here. Take another one. Probably enough in that one. That's a big spoonful again. Fold and fold. And I'm just going to keep repeating that process, and I'll bring you back in a second. So the beauty of this cook is that you've got them all made, and then instead of having plain old tomato sauce on the top, you put your tomato pulled chicken on the top as well. This one as well. So much flavour going on. You still smell all the smoke in that chicken and all the flavours. Let's give this a nice spread about. Make sure everything's covered so we don't get too many charred bits. with your cheese. If you had smoked cheese, it'd be even better. I've not got around to making any this year yet. But that is definitely something that I'll be getting on soon. And then a little sprinkling of that chicken skin, which is just going to give an extra little bit of crunch and flavour. Something a little different on the top. Make these that little bit more special. So these are not going to take very long when they go back in. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Again, back on the grill, still indirect. 10 to 15 minutes, we'll bring them back. Show you what they look like. There we go, all melted. Your skin's crisped up even more. Around a nice little bit of extra texture and crunch. I'm not going to do a taste test because it is pitch black out there. I'll spin the camera around in a bit and show you. But I can assure you that these taste fantastic. I've cooked them 3 or 4 times this way and they are like no enchilada you've ever had before. So if you like what we're doing, make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you want to know or anything you want me to cook, and then I can make sure that I'm tailoring myself to your needs. Thank you very much for watching. Dark, dark, and a little bit of light in the shack.